or morning, or nearly afternoon actually. It's around about just approaching midday, I think, just on midday. I got the afternoon free on a Sunday afternoon, and I had such great fun on this little pond during the week, catching a couple of nice tench and some lovely looking carp, that I thought I'd come down here again. So I've got the minimum of gear, just got my one rod, my light float rod and the centre pin reel. This time I've rigged it up with one of my dad's old Waggler floats, so I'm going to try and get a few fish on his old float today. Now I'm probably going to do a few hours in here, see what we can muscle out. I know there's loads of small carp in here, I know there's a few tench in here, and there's a couple, a very small handful of crucian carp. So we'll keep going. I'm going to use sweet corn on the hook to try and keep the small roach and rudd at bay, and hopefully I'll just get the carp and the tench. So let's give it a go and see what we can catch. Mixture of sweet corn and pellets, and we'll see what happens. Now when I did that in the week, admittedly it was in the evening, sort of 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening. Within a few minutes that area erupted into bubbles, so let's hope the same happens again. There we go, little grain of corn on a size 16 barbless. And in the time it took me to do that, I've got some bubbles coming up out there, so it's looking good for a fish or two. Well, I've been here for probably 3/4 of an hour now, and it's turning into be a very frustrating afternoon. I've had a few roach, you know, first few casts, but there's lots of carp out there, and I can actually see them. You know, they're coming up and rolling and swirling, and the water's churned up to a muddy, cloudy brown. And every time I throw out a couple of handfuls of pellet, the fizzing's going crazy, and all that's happening is my float's just dipping a few times. Now I started off on the sweet corn, but the small roach and rudd were sucking that off easily, so I've changed onto a little wafter now. Put a little rubber band on the small hook and put a 6mm fluoro wafter on. Hopefully that'll last longer and won't get pecked off by the small fish, but I'm just not getting the bites from the carp or tench or whatever's bubbling out there. But I'll keep going. Well, would you believe it? I've sat in this swim on the tench pond, or the little pond, and I was after a tench really, but there's been loads of carp fizzing out there all afternoon. I've been fishing for nearly 2 hours now, and all I've caught was a couple of roach, and I was right on the verge of giving up and going over onto one of the other lake, and finally hooked into something sort of bigger than a roach, and look what it's turned out to be. This beautiful, beautiful golden crucian. that was interesting. You may notice I've got a feeder rod out now. I've been fishing in this swim for 2.5 hours, and in all that time there's been so much bubbling going on out there. Every time I've thrown out pellets, the bottom's being ripped to pieces, and I'm sure that they were carp. And eventually, you know, after nearly 2 hours, I did pick up that crucian carp, but I'm sure there's carp out there feeding. So I went back to the car, got my feeder rod, thought a different approach, you know, all these finicky bites on the float. I thought I'd try the feeder. Swung the feeder out there with a fake caster on it. First cast out, plop, literally 30 seconds, no more than a minute, bang, the rod went around, and yeah, sure enough, it's a little mirror carp, so proved the point.
How about him for a beautiful fully scaled mirror then? Absolutely beautiful fish, aren't they? Well, look at that beauty. It's another golden crucian. This one was on the method. That's since I've changed over to the method, it's certainly converting the bites. It's a lovely, lovely little immaculate crucian, that. One for the future. Well, what do you know? Third crucian of the day. Another nice little golden beauty there. That was on the fake caster method feeder. Oh, look at this, unbelievably, crucian carp number 4 on the wafter, as you can see there, a little yellow wafter with my flatbed method feeder, and that's snaring the crucians this afternoon. I've had more crucians than any other species this afternoon.
Thought that one might have been a tinge, but no such luck. Another carp. I mean, the time's getting on now. It's probably about 4:30 now, and still no tinge. 4 crucians, so I can't complain. But I'm hoping as the evening draws in, that 1 or 2 tinge might show up. Let's hope so. There you go. First tinge of the evening. I had this in the feeder. It's about 5:45 now, so hopefully they'll start feeding. Nice start. Another carp, but at least it was on the pin. Right, it's 7 o'clock now, and I'm going to call it a day now after a really enjoyable afternoon. You know, loads of fish of different species. I only got the one tench in the end though, and unfortunately it wasn't on the float, but maybe next time. Anyway, that's it. I'm off now. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.